I was thinking the other day, when it rains, they call rain, the water that comes out of the sky like rain.
Right.
Yes, rain.
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
But it's rain. But once it hits the ground, it's water, right?
Because they call. Like,
Well, it depends. If it forms an accumulation, then it's a rain puddle.
who are they, dude?
Not meteorologist or like weather girls or something like that. I mean,
what?
Weather girls.
Excuse me, weather
Anyways,
people?
What did
my thought was, why not call it just sky water, right?
And then when it hits the ground, it's groundwater?
How
exactly.
do you know it wasn't called sky water?
I don't know. I mean, everybody, it's raining. It's rain out there.
Yeah.
Rain on the ground.
Water from heaven.
Right. Yeah. Hey, food for thoughts. I mean.
Are you? So, is your opening thing? Why are words called what they're called?
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah. Hey, these are the thoughts that go through my brain, and
Damn.
I'm just going to put it
Man,
out there
we
for you
gotta
guys.
get you.
Yeah. I've gone far too long in this podcast of just being quiet and silent.
We gotta get you
We're going
there.
to find the answers to these real questions.
Real
that are just
hard-hitting.
just plaguing the minds of all the listeners. Hey, you're welcome.
Man, you are unleashing the inner party animal with this show.
Hey guys, grabbing the brisket. We got a fun episode planned for you guys today. An awesome beer review coming up shortly. Dude, we got a high alcohol content beer coming up.
I wonder who it's from.
This is a whiskey.
You know how I feel about
barreled,
that. You know how I
aged.
feel.
Beer?
Okay, yeah, I was gonna. We have a beer from Martin House Brewery.
Oh.
It is it's called Campfire, and it's a whiskey barrel aged s'mores stout with I think roughly around 11.5% ABV. So that's pretty badass. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. That'll be a nice nightcap.
Correct. Yeah, I was watching a lot of videos online. You go on what's some of the apps that they have there, like YouTube, more specifically for beer, where you go to rate beer.
Oh yeah, Untapped.
And there were people showing like they would have these s'mores campfires, and they would literally like rim it with like sugar, and then have like a freaking marshmallow. Yeah, like a graham cracker rim, and then a marshmallow on top of that, and it's like flame grilled. I'm like, that's just too much, man.
That's a lot.
We don't get down on that. It was like it's got to come out of the can like that. That you're gonna get the honest review for sure.
Yeah. What if you did though? What if you opened your can and like marshmallows and shit start falling out,
buzzing out, right?
You're like, what?
At the very top, it started popping, right? Just like snap, crackle, pop. Like,
Yeah, we get a hold of an old can. It's just like mildew and mold and shit, and you know what I mean. Like,
this tastes funny.
hey, I see stars.
I don't know.
That's fantastic.
That's cool.
And another teaser, we have, so I came across an article earlier this week. It was from the Texas Monthly. Daniel Vaughn, we've heard of him. I mean, this guy is all over the world trying everybody's barbecue. He writes phenomenal articles, really a super fan of his. So he put out an article here just recently talking about the state of pulled pork in Texas and how it is pretty embarrassing. So apparently, according to him,
Yeah, well, we can't go into it just yet,
we
right?
won't. Yeah.
Okay.
So just kind of teasing that.
Yeah. I did.
You just
sneak.
curtailed your teasing.
I know. Yeah, but if you think just say the line again though. I mean, that's if it's what's the title again of that article that he wrote?
Texas pulled pork sucks.
Something like
that's what he
that.
said.
No, it's not the.
He said
No.
the state of Texas.
So it's Texas style pork. Texas style pulled pork is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Is the name of the article.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to get into that because that's. I saw the picture and I read the first line after that and I was like, oh, this is gonna be really good.
Right, yeah. What'd you say?
Oh.
You're offended a little bit, or you? No, we'll get into it.
No, it's fine.
That's fine.
It's a fender bender.
Fender bender.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to talk about dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Not everybody at once. Yes. Okay. So
And our 12-year-olds will come out real quick. Let's go.
it's funny. I always hear people like, "Oh man, I love dinosaurs. I love that." I was like, maybe it's because I grew up Pentecostal. I was like, those aren't real. Those weren't real.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was clearly something. There's clearly dinosaurs, right?
Right.
Like, there's all these bones. So
There's some evidence.
what's
out there.
happening now?
Dad, what are these giant bones
But
that are in the
growing up,
ground?
yeah, we didn't have dinosaur books or anything like that.
Those are
Right.
fake.
That wasn't a
stinks.
thing.
Okay.
Anyways, so Jan, you want to remind them what we're talking about here?
Yeah, so we were talking the other night, and one of the earlier podcasts that we had, we brought up dinosaurs and what type of dinosaur you would barbecue, right? And then what method would you do? So what species or what type that we know or whatever else, and then how would you do it,
Exactly. And if you're following us on social media, we put that little clip from the show out there a couple days ago. We got a pretty good response, a few dozen. I saved a few of them here. And if you're on YouTube, special little bonus, you get to see pictures because I brought pictures of dinosaurs to share as I read through these.
Okay. Grab them in the Brisket presentation. Let's
go. We do. Okay. So the first one was our friend, our co-host, our buddy, Big Al. And he said Tyrannosaurus Rex, brisket. He didn't say how. I'm assuming low and slow. I don't know.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know if T-Rex has a brisket, and it seems like
I'm eating those legs, bro.
Yeah, if you're going to do a T-Rex, I'm feeling like...
Looks like giant just
I want T-Rex thighs.
Yeah.
Look, man, frog legs.
You don't want the wings, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, so you have a deal with frogs. Is it all reptiles or just frogs?
Well, frogs are amphibians.
Or amphibians. Okay. So
I don't know. I've never ran into a dinosaur that scared me. So
look, we all learned from Jurassic Park that you take amphibians and you cross it over with old dinosaur DNA, and that's how you create new dinosaurs.
Or maybe maybe it'd be like a tail, like an alligator. That's where all the meat is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, funny you mentioned that. I was going to save that for closer at the end, but
okay.
We did have one person, our buddy Fred Krigerson. I think this might have been on. I don't know where it was at. He said alligator tail.
Okay.
I was like, I think you missed the assignment. We're talking about alligator. We're talking about dinosaurs, but he said alligator tail. He said deep fried and then finished on the smoker. I think we did that the other way around, but
I'm sure there was their version of a giant alligator back then. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure there was one back then. But
back then, I don't think any of them really had names.
Maybe alligators aren't they like the closest descendant to prehistoric animals or whatever?
I think birds are. I think like chickens and turkeys are.
Yeah, it's very weird how what you say the misconception that you have, because I think I saw on the internet and you learn from watching movies and Discovery Channel and all that, but velociraptors,
like reading books,
right?
Watching movies and shit. That's how you learn. But anyway,
the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Die Hard was a great lesson.
Does anybody still have those books just sitting on the shelf?
That is literally where this picture is from. Is Encyclopedia Britannica.
That's true. Yeah.
If you look close enough, you can see it on there.
Yeah, it actually does. 2010. So there you go. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, they say that they're closer to birds, and I've seen Apple has a nice dinosaur type film that they put together, and they showed these velociraptors that looked, instead of what they're portrayed on TV being like human height, they were just like more like freaking like turkey size. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit bigger.
Okay. That's a great segue. That's a perfect segue. For this one here, the Velociraptor, which is, like you say, is only about 2 feet tall, but about 6 feet long, according to, again, Encyclopedia Britannica. And we had a couple people say, our friend Christy at Girls Can Grill said spatchcocked Velociraptor.
100%.
And then this guy, Vols Deep, which I think is a play on word.
Okay.
Like balls deep,
like a wordplay.
But Vols Deep. I think he's probably from Tennessee or something. Like the Volunteers. Anyway, he said, I mean, turkeys are literally.
Oh,
just kidding.
Balls, like when you say balls deep.
Yeah.
But vols.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Balls.
Okay.
We got it.
Yeah.
He said, I mean, turkeys are literally velociraptors. The bone structures are the same. However, evolution did its thing and made them delicious deep fried or smoked, or even the next day on an open faced toast. Gravy, egg over easy, and a tomato. Add bacon. So those two both said velociraptors.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I'm just going to add this little tidbit. One of these animals is probably pooping out a large egg that you could probably make some badass scrambled eggs. You know what I mean?
Maybe you use that as the poached egg on top of the fucker.
Exactly. It's like an ostrich egg, but it's like 500 times bigger.
Right.
I mean, who wants that much egg, dude?
Right. I mean,
like some meathead.
If you're a freaking caveman, you haven't ate like in a year. You're like, I'm eating this whole egg.
It's like the Rock diet. He's got to have like 48 eggs or something every morning.
Just one. I just have one egg.
Right. Yeah, right.
All right, let's go into this next one.
Intermittent fasting.
We did have one for pterodactyl, and that was from our friend James. He said pterodactyl wings, which obviously, I don't know, but I have a picture of that one because when I looked at it, I don't know, it doesn't look like there's a ton of meat on those wings.
It might be poor choice. It might be kind of look like bat wings a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks like a kite.
How do we know that's what it looked like?
I don't know. I don't know that we do. I mean, I have no idea.
Science. I'm sure they have books that go all the way back.
But yeah, I don't think you want to eat like.
And when I say books, they're probably more like just like drawings on a wall in a cave somewhere.
That's why like chickens are so, because they don't fly. They don't use that, right? They're not using.
Yeah, but they're delicious.
They're really delicious. Yeah. So maybe you're right.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
There's no muscle. It's got a big old flap, right?
Yeah. You probably have to low and slow that thing because everything is just he's a lot of lean.
That's
muscle.
a velociraptor with wings.
Yeah, it doesn't look that tasty. I wonder if the head thingy, little pointy head thing, is that like a bone or is there some meat in there?
Can we go back? Did it have teeth?
It probably did.
Britannica knows. Dude, that's teeth, man. Or is that part of the ocean?
No idea.
I don't know. We don't know. Britannica, man.
Oh, man. Okay. Let's see what we got here. This one got quite a few. The Stegosaurus. And I see, like, I don't know the names of any of these things. Like, if you would have said, what's a Stegosaurus? I'd have been like, I mean, I know it's a dinosaur, but everybody seems to know all these. I don't know any of these.
Wasn't it like some cows and shit, right?
Well, when they were describing this one, that's what I got. It sounds like a cow.
Weren't there some mammals?
This one, they said, give me a Stegosaurus tail, low and slow with a dry rub. Another one said, I mean, they all said kind of the same thing. They all said low and slow. This guy, Dan Salta Bright or something, he did go and he said, good grass-fed diet, slow speed, would need time to render the diet, the fat out. Plus, you can use the plates on its back as a serving tray. So,
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be out there.
Right.
I'm going to be out there reeling in some of those ones that nowadays, like we have trout, but I'm going to be reeling in one of those, I don't know, those big tuna-sized trout or something, you know?
You'd rather eat a fish is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If we're put back in that era, you're probably like living in a like hollowed out tree or like a cave or something,
right.
And you're trying to hide out from all these animals that are trying to eat you.
You're more likely to be dinner than have dinner?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude,
you're
probably right.
A couple more, real quick. This one was probably the most popular, and this is one of the ones I thought of. The Brontosaurus, which is the one with the long neck.
Yep.
And they all kind of said the same sort of shit, right? Low and slow. This guy said, do the back strap on the smoker of this, whatever the hell this thing's called. It ate grass all the time, so it's got to be tasty. I want it 1 or 2 years old max, so it has the peak tenderness. And he said, we're smoking with pear tree wood, of course.
Right.
It's like pear tree wood.
It's going with them youngins.
I'm looking for about 6 weeks old or so, just time to
Littlefoot.
to start to graze and then pop right then,
Littlefoot.
right? Yeah, essentially.
So tender. So
Like
tender.
baby goat, man. What do you think they're doing with baby goats, man?
A couple people said the Brontosaurus because of Fred Flintstone.
Definitely. Hey, it's good enough for Fred Flintstone. It's good enough for me.
Ribs.
Yeah. They probably overcooked the shit out of that.
The funny thing is, when I looked at Fred Flintstone Brontosaurus ribs, this isn't the only time. Like, he had these multiple times in that show. Like, it wasn't just like part of the intro.
He ordered them.
Yeah, those were like his go-to, I don't know, anniversary meal or something. I don't know. He was having them. Mm-hmm. It was a thing. Yeah. This isn't something that they're just made up. Like, clearly Fred Flintstone really... Okay.
Definitely was not going for the vegetarian option.
All right, the last one we got was actually a video, and I'm going to share it. It's from our friend. Dang it. Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm blanking on his name, but I think it's on here.
A saber-toothed tiger.
That's not a dinosaur.
Yes, that is. It's another full dino. Duh.
What other dinosaur?
A T-Rex.
Let's go.
Because he had little arms.
What part of the T-Rex would taste the best?
His brain.
Yeah, and that's our buddy Go Big or Go Barbecue. If you guys have been following very long, you remember he was one of the first rubs that we had sent to us probably almost 4 years ago at this point. So
Definitely.
But that's his kiddo.
Might
So
be-
freaking cool, man.
Might be raising
Thank
a
you for
serial
sharing
killer
that.
after going after the brains.
Right?
Yes.
What's going on there,
A
man?
zombie. Let's go.
That's all I have for the dinosaurs. Do you have any more thoughts on dinosaurs?
No, I tried. Really thinking about that. Like, I'm going mammal, man. I gotta find. I know there's some big
Going
ass.
to woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Whatever. That's talk about a freaking brisket at that point.
Yeah.
We need one of those.
Do we think the woolly mammals are
18
closer to cows?
They're like elephants, right?
Yeah, kind of like elephants, I would
they?
imagine.
You can eat an elephant, can't you?
Yeah, you can eat anything you want, really.
Right. I know we
Mind over matter,
I know we
man.
discussed this on a previous episode, but it's like I ran all this shit through a AI intelligence GPT chat, whatever, and it was just like, it's unethical to eat dinosaurs. I'm like, just beat it, robot.
You don't understand what I'm
This
asking.
is why you never will be human, because you cannot
Great.
fantasize
stop.
about stuff.
Stop teaching it. Shit.
Done.
Just
Right,
get off
it's
that site,
learning.
man.
His name is
Right.
Frank, by the way.
Yeah.
Wasn't there any like deer or anything back then? You know?
Yeah,
And
right.
elk,
Right.
something. Anyway, that's all we got for that. Hot off the grill barbecue news.
Let's go.
Just a quick one. The first one is out there at the Memphis in May, which I did not bring all the winners information for that. I forgot all about it, to be honest with you. I'll bring that next week, and I'll get that posted. But they saw out there Cedrick the Entertainer and Anthony Anderson
Okay.
was out there hanging out and filming with Big Mo Kason. And there's I think it was Food Network. There's a new barbecue coming out, barbecue show.
Yep.
Yeesh.
These words are hard with
Yeah,
John
and I reached
tonight.
out to a couple people that were out there, and they're like, "Yeah, that's all we know." Like, they're saying maybe it'll be out by fall, but there's no more information than Cedrick the Entertainer, Anthony Anderson, and that they filmed with Big Mo out there.
Very
But
cool.
either way, it should be hopefully funny if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. I watch them all, so if it's barbecue. And then the other thing is, there was a. Let me ask you this: what is the biggest brisket you have ever cooked?
Yeah, it's probably about 22 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, 22, 23. I just want to go one more than James, no matter what.
Well, I was
so.
going to say, I know I've done one at least 25 pounds. I've seen
Yeah.
some big motherfuckers.
I was probably 28, 29.
Yeah, mine was like 30 tops,
Right.
maybe 31.
Maybe the largest ever. You're the largest. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm
It was-
segueing into here.
It was somewhere in the 30s, probably.
This was just put up on the
What?
intrawebs.
What is that?
64-pound brisket, world record.
Dude.
64 pounds. And this was, God dang it, who was this? It was somebody from the Texas, not Texas Soil Dust. Who does he cook with? Who's the restaurant he works for?
Midland Meat Company.
I think it was Midland Meat Company, one of his buddies. So I actually reached out there and asked him, I was like, hey, is this legit or is this just some...
Right.
But no, he went out there, him and I think it was Pit Barrel or some other pit company, and they cooked it for I think it was a farmer, and he was giving it to his workers. And they were going to cook it for his workers or whatever.
Okay.
But he said it was legit. It was a 64-pound brisket.
What's the cook time like? I need to know
Dude,
more
I
information.
don't know.
on
The
this.
stall alone's like 3 days.
Right.
Huh.
The wife is like, "Is it ready yet?" And it's like, "It'll be ready next Tuesday."
Exactly.
Everybody's just starving. Wife's all pissed. Nobody leaves the table till your father brings the
Right.
brisket.
Did you cook any sides? Like, no, I didn't cook any sides. You know I don't do sides.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that sucks. 64 pounds.
Yeah. So it was. I guess it was with Team Royal Oak, and Ugly Drum Smokers. That's who it was. And I asked him like, how old was that cow? He said, well, legally, the oldest you're allowed to raise them, like, with the intentions of butchering them, is 30 months. So he would say, at least 30 months, or right
Yeah.
at 30 months. But,
Right.
But if it was because he knew, then he asked some questions to whoever he was doing it, and he was like, well, it was for the guy's worker, so maybe it was older. Who knows? It could have been probably old, and.
Let me ask you this: is there like a nuclear plant that's like next to the ranch?
Hey, now ain't the time to start talking about nuclear, okay?
Nuclear.
Let's turn the lights off
Nuclear.
and let's see if that
Nuclear.
thing glows, because that's badass. I mean, I would love to get my
I
hands
thought it
on one
was
of
cool.
those big ass briskets. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple people, and I should have taken more notes. 'Cause we had a couple people reach out to us and send us messages being, "Hey, did you see that brisket? Is that thing for real?" And I was like, "I don't know." But
Well,
I'll
you
try
heard
to
it
find
here,
out.
folks. It is 100% not made up.
Yeah,
Real? 100%?
This guy's got brontosaurus briskets.
I mean, if you look at the picture,
that is what we're talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Whatever freaking dinosaur that motherfucker came off of, that's the one we want.
is that the
okay?
T-Rex brisket?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but yes, please.
Think about it though. You see how big that thing is in his hands, and it almost looks like it's Photoshop. But if it's not, then that's the size of 3 20-pound briskets. That's 3 huge ass briskets in one.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got for the hot off the grill barbecue news.
And do we have any mail today, John?
Nope, we've got no mail. That's
Okay.
the mail, mother humper.
That is the mail. I guess that's a perfect segue for us to go pay a little bills, and we'll see you on the flip side for sure.
Shit, you said flip side.
This episode is brought to you in part by Oklahoma Joe's new Ryder Deluxe pellet grills.
Since the company's humble beginnings in 1987, Oklahoma Joe has helped those who appreciate the process and the craft of smoking.
What began with Joe Davidson, a member of the Barbecue Hall of Fame, and a dozen hand-built smokers at the Oklahoma State Fair over 30 years ago, has since forged an Oklahoma Joe's brand that builds some of the most sought-after smokers.
Oklahoma Joe has a proud history of creating uncompromising smokers and grills with carefully crafted design, and the newest generation of the popular Ryder Series pellet grills carries on this tradition.
The new features in the Oklahoma Joe's Ryder Deluxe pellet grills include a Pit Control 2.0 system that delivers the category's first dual-sensor temperature control.
Fire-focused dual sensor feedback optimizes temperature control based on selected cooking styles, low and slow smoking, or high heat grilling.
A power feed system that boasts the high torque auger motor that powers through pellets for incredible power and performance.
The new Ryder Deluxe series builds on several popular features, including smoke and sear modes, which features an impressive temperature range that runs from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to a searing hot 650 degrees Fahrenheit, and a 20-pound quick draw hopper that allows unused pellets to be drained in seconds for simple storage, removal, and swapping of pellet flavors. Guys, if you want to find out more information about the new Ryder Deluxe Series pellet grills from Oklahoma Joe, check out the Oklahoma Joe's website, and the link is in our description in the bio, and that's oklahomajoe.com.
Kevin Smith, everybody knows at the root of any good relationship, any relationship worth anything, is the only thing that matters between two people. And I'm talking about television. That's right. That's why you should listen to Married with Television, man, which is a podcast by my friends Shannon and Jamie, I call her cat ears, about movies and TV that they have loved for decades, man. You listen at marriedwithtv.com or anywhere you get your podcasts. They are proud members of the Oddpods Media Network, man. Married with Television.
If you guys have not checked out the Married with Television podcast yet, it's super entertaining. All the ones on the Oddpods Media, super great. There'll be a link for that podcast down below. Next week will be another podcast.
Yeah.
Next week, another podcast. So keep checking them out, and then we'll know you're checking them out because you'll be having to click the link in our podcast, and you'll be listening to ours as well.
Because we track it. We
yeah.
know what you do.
We know
We
where
do.
your
It's true.
keystrokes are.
It's true.
Right? We know your passwords. Kittens love dogs, okay? We know.
Right.
Yeah, obviously,
Underscore
yeah.
69. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, stop
It's-
doing 1, 2, 3, 4 as your passcode.
It's not good. Or one exclamation point. Just get rid of that a whole little keystroke. We all know what that is.
Shit. All right.
And that's honestly, that's a great segue into the grabbing the brisket.
You get off of my keys. What?
Obviously, it just gets better
What
and
is
better.
happening
Cheers,
there?
fellas.
Hey, we're
Oh,
cheersing
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What do we have on deck, guys?
I think you teased this already a little bit. Jan, you want to grab those cans? Right now, we're all sitting here drinking Coors Light, but we've got something better on deck. Pulling it out of the
I have
Cambro
no
cooler.
information except for the information that is on the can because I did not prepare for that. But
Well, it's from Martin House Brewing. I can tell you that right now.
Okay, Martin House Brewing. James, you want to go ahead and give it a little?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to give it a gander, and I can't read this. It's like the
Okay, I'll take it from there.
old eyes.
12.9% alcohol by volume. You
John's
just said
got the light.
11.5. This is 12.9.
12.9 ABV. Yeah. This Imperial Stout was brewed with smoked malt. What is that? Graham cracker, vanilla, marshmallows, and cocoa powder.
Aged 4 to 5 months in a whiskey barrel. Only 15 IBUs. And it says 100% unblended, which I don't know what that means. I mean, it's going to be chunky?
I don't
Be a
know.
possibility. Let's go ahead and just pop those things open and get a little taste.
Supposed to shake it up before you do that, or
It's not a
I
nice
shook mine.
These are dark.
Yeah.
These are very dark. Did I take too much? Does Jan need to give you some of his? Jan, would you share with your brother? Oh, no, he said no. He said fuck you. Are these one of the ones that came in the little box?
Okay. Yep.
Yes. No?
Very good. Very good, John.
I'm probably...
No,
okay.
we're good. Thanks.
I was saying, are these one of the ones that came in the little 2-pack boxes?
Comes in a little sleeve. You only get two 12-ounce cans. I guess they're afraid to give you more because of the high alcohol content. Maybe there's a law or something, but I mean, they are pricey. Now, anybody out there that's listening, they are pricey. It was probably like maybe $14 for
Two beers.
two
2 beers,
12-ounce
right.
beers.
Yeah, well, but
You're
they're
going to feel like
also-
you drank 6
That's
of them.
kind of
But
on
they're
par if you go to
13%,
a
dude.
brewery.
Right.
Hey,
And you-
they're 13%.
Yeah, this is a 6-pack if you drink both of them.
Let's say, I mean, you're faded. You're drinking liquor at this point.
Right. Liquor.
Liquor.
We probably should have waited until we did our barbecue story to drink this, but hey, let's grab the brisket. We don't go by any rules or plans.
There it is.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Do they do this one every year or something?
I don't
Because it
know,
has a
man.
date on it. It says 2023.
I think this is the first time they did the barrel aged ones, but I think they do it every year, or at least I've seen previous images of like 2019 in other years, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
Dude, this is so good.
They do it every year, but this thing's
This is so freaking good. This is exactly what they say it is, but it's subtle. It's right. Do you taste that?
it's not bitter. Like
Taste
the
the Graham?
IBUs are
No,
like
it's not
they,
bitter
they
at all.
hit it
Not
spot on.
bitter at all.
No, I taste the graham cracker.
Graham right there, right? That
That's
creaminess.
A lot of sweetness from the s'mores.
That creaminess.
It's got a bite of alcohol though.
Yeah, that's from the whiskey barrel.
Yeah. No,
Right?
for sure. Yeah. I just think that some of them hide that better.
Ooh, I kind of like it.
I don't dislike it. I'm just saying
Like-
there's some where
Okay.
it's a little smoother.
You can't drink this on the way to work in the morning because boss man's gonna be like, "Hey,
Smell it on your breath.
I can smell that, bro. Get out. Come on. Come back when you've rested a little bit, right?"
It's fucking s'mores, man.
Yeah, right. I just had some s'mores.
I want some s'mores.
Right. You check the lunchbox. That's a deal. Nowadays, when you check the lunchbox in at work, so, well, I'm gonna go to a rant, but these things look like soft drinks. These things look like things you'd be back in the day. Like
It's a seltzer.
beers were
Yeah.
never like done this way back in the day. You knew what a beer can look like. Now anything's a beer. With all the packaging,
Right. Right.
essentially.
I would like to see the box that this came in. Honestly, I'm not super impressed with the artwork on this, like I usually am with
Let me see.
Martin House.
Yeah, the artwork it's right behind the box is right behind you over here if you want to check that out.
Okay, so you've got
see if I can find
It's underneath the little lights over there next to the.
like I mean, if you want to hear a story on this, this is like, you know, two guys like in the old Wild West, sitting by a fire. My grandpa said to your grandpa, "I'm going to set your house on fire." Talk about hey now,
Hey now,
Hey
you a
now.
rock star?
yeah, no,
Oh, different song.
yeah,
The box is
cool.
pretty badass.
Yeah, the box is better than the can. It has this. I don't know what that is.
It's like a little demon.
Is that a dinosaur?
Little creature. could be a dinosaur.
Before
could be a werewolf.
Dude,
I
it's
don't know.
before they came out, man. This is telling a story.
It's Campfire. Like you go around, you tell ghost stories, and you just
Yeah, but you got to buy all the sleeves, man. You got to buy all the beers with all the because this probably came in multiple sleeves. It's gonna tell a story.
What do you mean?
Maybe every sleeve says something, has a different picture on it.
Oh, no, I think they're the same.
No, bro, I'm telling you,
Okay.
they're smart people. They know what they're doing. Anyways, it's a delicious beer. Go back to the beer. Let's talk about this for a second. How does it taste to you, John?
It's got the flavors. It's got all the flavors it says it's supposed to have. I mean, they're there. It's not as chocolate forward as I was kind of expecting with the s'mores, but I guess with s'mores, it's really more about the marshmallow, right?
Well, take like two gulps real quick. Let me come back to you, okay? Because
I'll be
it
over here
has
gulping if you need.
It has a chalkiness to this.
get faded.
Well, it has a chalkiness to this. It's like drinking chocolate. This is like a chocolate, right?
I mean, it's thick like chocolate milk, if that's what you're saying.
No, a chocolate. But it's a bitter. That's why the
Yeah,
bitterness.
it is more of a bitter chocolate for sure.
Yeah, and that's what you're tasting right there, right? This is a really it's balanced.
Yep.
Yeah. My initial few drinks of it, I mean, it literally is like I'm just drinking chocolate milk. It's like I got chocolate. I got no bitterness whatsoever, and then you get a little bit of alcohol on the back end. I'm loving it. I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's like vodka and chocolate milk when you were a kid, right?
I never had that when I was
You
a
know
kid.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never.
You ever tried that?
Different childhoods, I guess.
Damn it!
It's a white Russian.
I don't know if that is, but if you don't mind, can I go?
Go for it.
9.9. This is a great freaking beer. I love this beer. Love this beer. Love it, love it, love it. Phenomenal.
Dude,
I'm
these
angry that I gave y'all rest of mine.
Right.
Actually.
You better run to HEB and you better snag.
Dude, this is a crazy
They only
good
had
beer.
like 4 or 5 sleeves there. That was it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're out and about, HEB, and they carry Martin House, I'd go check it out. Let me go too. I'll go. I won't go as high as you.
It's in the 9s.
For me, it's in the 9s. I go 9.5.
Bro, you're
I feel awful, man.
you deserve it. You deserve it.
I'm sorry, James.
You just you didn't grow up the hooligans that James and I did. Cheers to that, James.
Cheers.
Okay.
I'm gonna slow sip on this for the rest of the day.
All right.
He said slow slip.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
Right.
No, I don't dislike this thing. It's good. It's chocolatey. It's marshmallowy.
Yeah.
For me, it does have a bitterness. It has a bitterness, and which I do like bitterness.
God bless.
But the bitterness with
Tens, dude.
that bite of alcohol at the end, which I don't mind the bite of alcohol, but this one lingers more than I think it should. I still like it. Okay.
No, this is. I'm telling you, man. Like first of all, I don't mind alcohol.
7.3.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shit,
I'm sorry,
dude. I tried to.
I know you.
I tried
did.
to sway you
I
real
know
quick.
you were.
Don't push it.
Hey, they're all honest answers, so hey, there's no wrong answer.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is wrong. There's wrong opinions for sure.
Any given Thursday, any given Wednesday, maybe it would have been different. But tonight, maybe it's because
What did you eat today?
maybe I'm hot out here. I had fajitas.
Hey, no wonder, man.
Oh, this is not
Boy
a
just
fajito?
boy just
Fajito?
chow down with some fajitas, then basically comes over. If you haven't noticed, we've kind of relocated back to the
Garage
OG,
pod?
right? Back to the OG garage pod, and it doesn't feel that bad. I mean, it's South Texas, and
It's a little sticky.
maybe we're in May, but
You can't tell, but none of us have pants on.
right. We're sweating over here. Come on. No, it's nice.
Everything's in a work in progress.
Yeah.
We got a lot of sponsors that are lining up to
Yeah.
help fund everything. So
You're gonna
big
see us on one of
things
those
coming.
What's that lady that does the she used to do like, which I feel so bad for you bringing it up like this, but she was known, oh dang man, for like going on like, hey, for so much money you could help somebody out. She played in the show
In the arms of an angel.
she played on the show MASH,
Oh.
right? She was the Hot Lips Houlihan lady, right? So she later on in her career, she started really doing like more of a humanitarian thing where she just gave back and started working with those type of places where
great for her.
Yeah, right. So
how is that relevant? What are you talking about?
what?
Is there one out there that does it for podcast? You know,
Yeah.
for 2 cents, you guys can help out grab them the brisket.
Thank you.
2 cents.
Thank
a month.
you.
That's all it takes.
We need our own hot lips.
If we can
Exactly.
get just 36 cents a month.
If anybody out there it's listening to the Grabbing the Brisket podcast and you feel like you have hot lips Houlihan qualities, then just please
What?
submit your application.
Submit. It's very sadomastic stuff you're saying over
risque
here.
over
And
here.
we'll get
Yeah,
back
we're
to
good.
the Grabbing the Brisket beer review.
Listen, we do have a GoFundMe. Can I just stop real quick? We have a GoFundMe. Just,
We don't.
No, we don't have one.
We do have
should-
an email.
We have an
info at grabtheminthebrisket.com, or you can just go to our website. It's
Yeah.
grabthebrisket.com and find all of our information. Reach out to us there. And we probably could squeeze in one more sponsor at this point.
Okay, so
be
okay,
quick.
if you had what we want to know right now is if you had the money, right? If you had the money, you had all the money. How much money, if you're just feeling generous, would you donate to Grab the Brisket? Right? Whatever. If you had all the money, how much money
Right.
would you do? Right?
It's hypothetical.
Put it out there. Put it out there. How much money would you donate just to?
And if anybody wants to drop us
James is
a
like, no,
message
stupid
on our
idea.
hotline, go ahead and shoot us a voicemail at 434-829-2299. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to play you on the show, even if it is you want to call Jan a bitch,
That's not true.
even if you
That's
want to
not-
like
James
give a
or
shout
John,
out to
maybe could be
James
a bitch or somebody.
Matt or
Yeah.
Alex. We got a couple of guys that are missing this evening, but yeah, let us know what's going on. Also, if you want to drop us a barbecue win or fail, and we put it on the show, then you get a free bottle of Sucklebusters rub. So
And we do have a barbecue
It's
win
easy
/ fail
peasy.
coming up here soon.
we got it on deck.
I hope
This
so.
concludes the Grabbing the Brisket.
What'd you?
Beer review.
And you're still a bitch.
That's what he says. The James Still bitch.
I love it. Never
Appreciate
gets old.
that.
I'm sure Jan's like, I'm going to just quit.
Yeah. You say that again.
All right. Hey, as I kind of previewed a little bit earlier, I came across an article on Texas Monthly, and Daniel Vaughn wrote a piece talking about the kind of the Texas style pulled pork in Texas is embarrassing. And I think the title of my article, where I kind of like, maybe might be the title of the podcast, was "The Sad State of Pulled Pork in Texas."
Yeah.
And
Was that a
It-
title suggestion you just gave?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So when you read, when you listen to this, when you're editing and you hear this, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can't title the same thing.
I hear it
It's
is.
got a title at, Daniel Vaughn.
And the podcast could be like Daniel Vaughn's article. No, just kidding. But let's get into it. Like, so I'll give you I have a couple of, they're not really excerpts, just kind of like a little bit of my thoughts of actually reading the article. So all credit to Daniel. Daniel did a phenomenal job writing this article. And everybody that's listening, if you haven't heard of Texas Monthly magazine, they put out high quality stuff about Texas, and also they do barbecue news as well. And they feature articles of artists, not artists. Well, you're an artist if you're a pit master, all throughout the Texas
Yeah,
area.
I see Texas Monthly just highlights, the best qualities of Texas, right? So if you're in Texas and you're doing really well for yourself, well, the chances are Texas Monthly's looking at you.
Correct. Yes. And so this article is not so nice about Texas. It's kind of like putting Texas on point, saying.
But it has
that-
to be. But it has to be. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
But it has to be Texas, like what you think of Texas being, right? It's more than just being like, right or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
okay.
I mean, Texas is synonymous as being the king of brisket, not really
Well, I
the
thought it
king
was
of
barbecue.
Beef, barbecue, brisket. But yeah, when you think pork barbecue, you don't necessarily think of Texas
You don't.
first.
Yeah.
No.
You think of like Georgia, Carolina, somewhere over there.
He goes into this article talking about kind of why he thinks it, and because he's been he's been all across the country. Whether it's he mentions North Carolina, you get into the Carolinas, you get into some of the Rodney Scotts, whole hog pork. You try that shredded pork and all that type of stuff like that. It is a different breed of what you're getting compared to here, because basically here in Texas you're getting pork shoulder, full pork. You're getting the pork shoulder, the pork butt, aka the pork butt. That's what usually you get when you go to the restaurant.
Right, if you're getting pulled pork, it's pork butt.
It's pork
shoulder.
Yeah, and a lot of them, it's like you put a little smoke on it, you wrap it up, tenderize it, pull it off, you shred it.
Yeah, you're not getting a whole hog with all the meat mixed together.
You're not getting the whole hog, and I gave a couple little examples on a couple of pages here. I mean, we could look it up. It's like the difference between what a pork butt is versus what's like the picnic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
having the skin on it. Mm-hmm. So the article is titled "Texas Style Pulled Pork is Embarrassing," by Daniel Vaughn, discusses the perceived shortcomings of Texas style pork butt compared to other region styles, specifically North Carolina. The author argues that typical Texas approach to pulled pork, using bone-in pork butt and focusing on tenderness, often results in a lackluster and homogeneous meat.
Yeah.
And I kind of see it. I mean,
I agree with you.
We see a lot of like competition, people doing pork here in this area, pork butt, and it's all the same. It's like, I mean, I get it. We do it in the backyard. Like, we'll smoke it for 4 hours, wrap it up, smoke it for another 4 hours, pull it off, and there's like, boom, here you go. This is what you got. This is what we're used to. But apparently, when you go to North Carolina, when you go to some of these areas that they grew up, hundreds of years of just doing pork.
Oh.
You're not getting the either you're getting the whole hog or they're getting the whole, what would you say, the picnic style of shoulder, whether it may just have the shoulder and pork butt attached together. And I've seen plenty of videos when I watch some of the Myron Mixons and some of these guys do the Memphis Maze and the Kansas City, well, I don't know necessarily it's Kansas City roll, but they'll cook those things together, and they'll cook it for so long, and they try to protect that skin to make it look all mahogany and all that stuff like that. But what do you guys, what do you think?
I think it's a whole different ball game when you're able to use like just pork shoulder. I mean, it's going to get tender, right? And it's going to have a decent flavor, but when you can pull meat from the ribs and all the other, just like the tenderloins and all this other shit that you're not getting in just the pork shoulder, it's going to have a different texture. It's going to have a different flavor. Plus, they're keeping that skin on there, so it's probably got a lot more moisture in it anyway, without having to do all the wrapping and shit. Like, I don't know, when I do my pork shoulders, I'm wrapping, and I'm having to add in a lot more stuff when I'm done, just to keep some flavor in there.
So I think because the pork butt's so fatty that my interpretation of this is that we're just overcooking the son of a bitch.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
It turns into mush.
It's just a mushy,
forgiving.
pasty. Yeah, right. It's just a mushy.
Amateurs, beginners, they can just cook it.
That's right.
It'll come out good.
And that's why I really, if it's on the menu, I'm like, no, thank you. It's always dry. It's always just mushy or anything else. And I just don't typically want that in my diet. So that's what I think of this. And when I go anywhere else, as far as like backyard cooking, whatever, I don't typically see that style. A pulled pork butt, great. James, last ones you did when we pulled it, when you actually pull it out and cook it at the correct temperature, it's more of a I don't know, like more of a
shredded. It's not like a mushy.
No, yeah, I'm not saying shredded. It's just like I'm. Maybe it's understanding all the different cuts of meat you have in there.
It's almost like you can pull the different muscles apart.
Yeah, exactly, right? Be able to like differentiate between the three that's there. Or is there three muscles or no, you don't know?
I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I think there's more than three muscles in just the shoulder, but You got all the different little tube muscles going through there and shit. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know
maybe
what they all
so.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
there's some.
saying just, it's the more you get, the more flakier it is. Like when you don't overcook it, some Texas mush or meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could be over seasoning it too. Just like heavily salt and pepper style Texas. You know what I mean? Versus over there, you see a lot of those guys just nothing but salt, salt, and then they're coming over with some type of vinegar based mop that they just mop it over and over again. But I'll.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that hits.
It does, yeah.
That thing slaps.
So we got two difference what Daniel does reference in this article. So when you guys go check it out, you'll kind of have a reference, and he goes into a little bit between the difference between a pork butt, aka the Boston butt, versus what what they call the picnic shoulder is. And so, but he does go into. I'll get into it after that I explain this, but he does go into a little bit of what Texas does do good. And it's not the actual pulled pork stuff, but it's getting into pork steaks.
Okay.
It's getting into doing carnitas.
Yeah.
Doing that is they're killing it. Like it's very kind of hard to beat, when you get into that. But when you offer that pork, that pulled pork, and when you go over to other regions that's really just dominate in that, and you try this, you're like, oh, that's underwhelming. That's just like, I wish you just not even offer that. But it's twofold, because a lot of people have not gone over and experienced that other stuff. And the only thing I can equate it to is like, I've been to places that have done the whole hog experience, and you're able to taste all the different like cuts of meats and everything just chopped up, and just you try it and you're just like, man, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you compare that to
the meat speaks for itself.
It does, yeah. It's something that's just not just smoked for a little bit and then wrapped into tinfoil or wrapped in butcher paper and then cooked and braised for a while, versus something that has been slow simmering over open flames. The difference is night and day. The flames that are kissing the meat, and you have that reaction,
char action,
that little char action, and that flavor. You can't beat it.
But one of the things that when we watched the whole hog being cooked and everything else, one of the things Kel said was that sometimes they'll pack in, right? So they're packing in, like they'll go get a pork butt, or they'll get something like that, or pack in some bacon.
Yeah, just to cover up the muscles that will dry out.
That's right. So pack that in. That way it just kind of helps keep it moist.
Yeah, insulates a little bit.
While it's cooking,
Yeah.
Genius.
I know.
Yeah.
But these are things that we're not doing here. Like there's no. Can you imagine having a restaurant where every day you had three whole hogs every single day you cooked, and you served just boom, boom, boom all the way out to everybody on the tables. Like you did it once a day, and it would kill, man. Nobody's doing something like that around here.
That's true. That's true.
All right, a couple of little scientific facts for you guys, little information. The pork butt, aka the Boston butt, subprimal location above the pig's foreleg and directly behind its head. How it's sold is bone-in or boneless, and they sell it skinless. Texture, nicely marbled, moist, and resistant to overcooking. Yep. This is why this is a great meat for beginners that are trying to go out there and cut their teeth on barbecue. And whether you got a pellet grill, an offset smoker, it's a great piece of meat for you to go out there and just kill it. You'll smoke it.
It's like
You're
a
just
roast.
like, it'll be great. You'll turn it to your family. Your family will be like, Papa, that's the best ever. You know what I mean?
I remember the first time I cooked. I think I cooked two of them at the same time. I think I had a 2-pack or something from Costco or something. And I had James come over, and I was like, bro, I don't know what's wrong. Like, it's just tough. He's like, just put it on for longer. I was like, okay.
Right,
a couple hours later,
That's
tender
simple.
as shit.
Like,
this
this is so great. Forgiving. I'm the best cook ever.
Like, literally, he's just so cook it longer. I was like, as a new cook, back then, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, won't that dry it out more if you cook it longer? But it wasn't dry. It was just tough. It just hadn't broken down yet. Yeah.
Just need to render.
Oh.
Hey,
Thank you, James.
I think not only that, but I think it's a great lesson right there. And like, if you just recap that real quick, like there's certain times that I think a lot of people pull the proteins too early, and they think, well, damn, I've already dried it out. It's not going to be good. It's already, I burn it.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did it.
Well, we get confused, right? It's two different things. There's it's dried out or it's tough. If it's like same thing with a brisket. If you overcook a brisket, it's going to dry out, but it ain't going to be tough. It's going to fall apart. Same thing with the pork butt. It's just going to fall apart. It might dry out, but it's not going to be tough anymore. It's going to be tender. It's just going to fall apart.
That is true. So uses low and slow roast or
Can't
braises.
just segue into what is your manners, sir?
Good.
You're just so.
I am.
Get out of here.
He's
I am
focused.
staying on point.
Go with the
Say it
James.
again, James.
So
Well, I didn't even hear you.
uses of the Boston butt, aka the pork butt, it's low and slow roast, or braised, or you can cut it into pork steaks.
Yeah.
Which
No.
I feel like was not a thing until we started doing that shit, and now everybody's
Well,
we've
Mimsy,
always done pork steaks.
Is it Mimsy? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mincy, Snows
Yeah.
Snows is known.
they're all doing it now.
That's-
And-
They all got it from us.
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
it. Yeah.
In the article with Daniel Vaughn, is like he goes through a
Grab
list
the
of
brisket.
a
What
slew
up?
of restaurants here in the state of Texas that are doing the pork steaks, the carnitas, and he lists a bunch of people.
Did he mention us?
We did not get a mention.
Really?
Yeah,
So bizarre.
That's weird. Daniel, you got our number.
Come
we got
on.
yours. Let's
D
let's
money.
Go.
Do not.
What is in the picnic shoulder? Okay, so the subprimal location of the picnic shoulder is directly below the Boston butt and includes all the foreleg until it gets to the hock, right
Yeah.
above the pig's front foot. So it's sold bone in, skin on. Texture is moist and crispy skin. Uses low and slow cooking. So a lot of people over in that area, when they do competitions, when I say that area, we're talking more.
Yeah. But define what you're saying.
We're talking more North Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah.
That whole area. Like I've seen the videos with Heath Riles do these picnic shoulders where like they do some magic stuff. Basically, I've seen them drop like cloths on top of
Yeah,
the
like
actual
the
skin.
cheesecloth?
Yeah, on top of the skin to keep it from getting too dark. So you want everything else to kind of start cooking and going through its thing. And I think there's ham. I think there's ham involved somewhere in that
Bro,
area.
I'm cooking one of these.
The ham is what dries out, right?
It dries out super quick. I mean, you have to cook those things perfectly. Then
160 or
they
something.
pull that cheesecloth off, and they may cook it for a little longer or whatever, but it's got that nice mahogany color to it. Yeah, it looks like it just
Like a
big
spray
ass.
tan.
You could just pick it up as like a big ass giant like bone, like turkey leg. It's like it
Something
looks
from the
good.
Flintstones?
It looks good for sure.
Dude, we should cook one.
I want to do one so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a whole hog.
Let's do it. Or how are we going to cook it?
We'll do a little
we
whole
gonna-
hog cook in the back.
We're going to build a pit in James's backyard?
Yeah.
Is that cool,
Right.
James?
Yeah, let's do it.
Open fire in your backyard?
So,
Okay. We could just push a couple of Webers together, maybe.
nope.
We could a real small one. We could do it on the
Nope.
Weber kettle,
Cannot do that.
the ranch kettle.
I'm sure we know friends that have cooking apparatuses
cooker?
that can.
I mean, it would fit in
go
Johnny
ahead
and
and,
June, but it wouldn't be the same effect. I think
It
you're
would
just
not.
smoking it. Yeah.
No, we're
Yeah,
doing.
we need a little of that direct
just,
coals.
We'll just do the. We'll just build a
Cinder block?
Yeah, cinder block one.
Can we do it in your backyard?
Actually, yeah, we can because I have all the rock on the side there, so we actually can do that. I'm fine with that.
So I implore everybody out there listening, go check out the Texas Monthly article that Daniel Vaughn put it out there. Let us know what your 2 cents are. Also, if you think that there is a place in Texas that you like this pork butt kills, this is the best. Let us know.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Let's
No,
go
that's
check
good.
that out.
Heck yeah.
That's what
Also,
I'm talking
tell
about.
us what other states suck at when it comes to barbecue. We'd like to hear that too.
Yeah. Dude, you know.
I don't know.
I would love to hear that. I'd like to make clips out of that. You know, Kansas sucks at blah, blah, blah.
Like Reno,
Right. Reno.
yeah,
They do barbecue?
you're not getting good barbecue in Reno.
Yeah, you're not getting any good barbecue. No. Yeah, no.
Also, give us what you think the worst state in barbecue is.
The worst?
Yeah, which state do you think is the worst? Has the worst barbecue?
You know who's probably higher on the list than you might think?
Wait a minute. Yeah. No. Yeah. Can I guess?
Yeah.
All 50 states?
Mm-hmm.
Are they all connected?
What?
Are we here or are we like
The 50 states. There's only 50.
okay?
Yeah. Which state do you think is, well, it's kind of a weird thing to guess, but
Okay.
there's one that I thought of like, well, why that one? I'm like, nah, they probably would be higher than you'd think. Hawaii. Because they're doing like that
Yes,
pig in
dude.
the ground, all this kind of
Are you crazy?
luau. Like, I don't think of barbecue
Are
when I
you
think of
crazy?
Hawaii. Do you? You think
Yes.
barbecue, you think Hawaii?
One-
I'm thinking
100%.
pig. I'm thinking
Bullshit.
pig roast.
Yes, pig roast in the ground, dude. What are you freaking? Have you not
punch him,
seen
let me punch
anything?
him.
So I was thinking like Idaho or something. Like I was like,
No,
I don't
Idaho
know.
could probably
Dude,
barbecue.
hey, Rhode
They got,
Island.
They got ranches and shit up there.
You think Rhode Island's throwing down the
Some
barbecue?
lobster. I think it's like some
Yeah, it's
lobster.
got to be somewhere up in the
Or it's
northeast.
like it's cold in August, and it's cold in May, and it's cold in April, and you just live this lobster cold life.
Maybe Washington.
No.
Just eating all the butter that you can get
Oh,
with
dude.
all
Well,
everything.
hey, well, honestly, and some badass crab and lobster. I'm sure the seafood is amazing. No hate.
Yeah, no, I've had some overnights up there. I think it was in maybe Manchester.
Yeah.
And there's a little grocery store across the street where you could go and they'd be like, yeah, I want a lobster. Go ahead and boil it with me for me and throw some butter on it. And take
Really?
it back to my hotel room with me. I was like, I just got a lobster. And it was like $12. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This
Living
is
the
my
best
life now.
Yeah, you're like
Sitting on the bed watching.
Hey,
I
what
don't
time?
know
Of,
what it was.
what time of the year was it?
Oh, I don't know. I know it was probably like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus, dude. No, I'm all about that life. I'm just
Fantastic.
That's weird.
Sitting on my hotel bed eating a lobster,
You're like,
dipping in a
I'm
bucket
on a
of
boat,
butter.
right? I'm on a boat, bitch. Yeah, that's funny.
It was good.
Cheers.
So this honestly gave me the drive to. I want to get a picnic shoulder. I want to cook a whole picnic shoulder with the pork Boston butt attached. Just a whole arm.
Just buy half, dude.
It's a quarter pig, basically.
Hey, if we buy half, we can quarter it, and then we can just cook it, dude. We'll just you get some, I get some. You know.
Let's do it.
I don't get any. I don't get some.
Oh, you want some
Yeah.
too? Dang, dog, you got to pay for that, son. I don't.
And
No, man, of course.
This is a perfect segue for
Nope,
us to
we're
go
not
into
segueing.
the. We don't have a jingle for
Yeah,
the.
we don't have a jingle for that.
for the barbecue
I know you're
fail.
going, but
The
yeah.
fuck would you
before
want one
the
for?
barbecue fail?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? want
Everybody
one?
listening
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like, nah, we don't need another fucking.
Please stop
jingle.
jingling.
Yeah.
The fact that you said it just
No, I
lost
love
so much
it.
credibility.
I was waiting to see if he would start singing.
Yeah, and you've done so good tonight, just like talking, just getting into it, man. Yeah. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
He's cheers you like 43 times. He's drunk.
Yeah, this beer, dude, I had to put it down.
You didn't even finish it. All this 9.9, and you couldn't even finish the beer, man. That's sad.
Yeah.
What's wrong with him? Okay, we do have a barbecue.
I'm calling you on the way to work tomorrow.
Okay. We have a barbecue something. I'm not sure if this is a winner or fail. I probably should have read this ahead of time. This is from Barbecue Daddies. I want to say this is on Instagram, but I'll put their little
I like
tag.
these guys,
Barbecue
dude.
Daddy,
Yeah,
yeah.
barbecue daddies. Did they say something bad?
No, this is, I don't know. It's a barbecue win, barbecue fail.
Oh, dude, I like these guys. Dude, I follow them. They're cook-off guys. Who's ever on their social media is doing a really good job because they're really consistent, and their content's really good. So check them out.
Yes. Okay, here's what we got. This is the message. He said, I'm sure this qualifies. We cooked a comp in Granbury this year, Outlaw Barbecue Association. Needless to say, it wasn't our day. I got the brisket injected and seasoned up Friday night and was transferring to the Cambro to rest for the night before putting it on the pit the next morning. Took one bad step out of the trailer and the brisket hit the dirt. So Snake River Gold. We scrambled and washed her off real good. Whole new meaning to grass-fed beef, I guess. We
Nice.
took a pair of tweezers to her, and after what seemed like hours of removing debris, re-trimming, injecting, and seasoning, we were able to save it. I think we got like 12th in brisket that day out of like 16 cooks. Like I said, wasn't our day. Hopefully a judge didn't get a piece of pea gravel. Hope to see you guys out on the comp circuit one day. I'll bring the beers. Thanks for spreading the barbecue love. Y'all are welcome to the Barbecue Daddies camp anytime.
Dude, that's so funny enough, we had the same thing happen to us. James over here at Butterfingers.
Well, he dropped 2 of them though, right?
He dropped not only dropped 1, he dropped 2, but he dropped it onto his driveway that was full of crushed acorns that his car had been driving over for freaking months, like a degenerate that he is. And you can't get up there with a freaking blower and blow it off, James. What's happening, right?
But how was that bark afterwards? I bet it had a good crunch to it.
First of all,
Very nutty.
we did not get all of that bark. There's no way we did. That thing was not clean. There was still stuff there. We just like, fuck it, just season it up.
It looked like pepper. So.
We threw it on. They were good, dude. They were great. They were great briskets. Great briskets.
Well, apparently this one was not a great brisket.
Yeah.
But he does get something out of it.
Well, I'm sure he had a great brisket. It's just, hey, it wasn't his day on the judges. The judges wasn't picking up what he was putting down. Hey, the seasoning would have been great no matter what, right?
Exactly. But let me ask you this before you tell him what the grand prize is. What if we had a competition?
Okay.
We went out to a cook-off.
Like what you're saying.
And we had a fresh out of the pack brisket.
Yep.
I know where you're going.
That you had to relay and just like manhandle and carry it over a distance of like 20 feet and then come back without dropping it.
No, it's got to be longer than that.
We can go long. We can set a obstacle course.
You got to go. You have to go.
But if you drop it, you're out.
60 feet, 2 briskets.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty far. Because I was carrying them last night or the other night when we were seasoning them, and I was at least 20 feet.
But they're going to be fatty. We're not trimming these things.
We're not trimming them. And we have to hold them by the point or something.
And they're not going to be like frozen ice cold. They're going to be like
mush.
Soft.
Are you saying I had an advantage? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
So 2 briskets, 60 feet.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the Olympics.
Then what do we do?
And
Brisket
then we're going to
Olympics?
we need to get Oklahoma Joe. We need to get one of these sponsors on board to provide a pit. And then the winner gets a pit.
I love it. This should be part of our cook-off that we're talking about doing where everybody cooks a choice brisket or select brisket.
Yeah.
Well, can you even buy select anymore? Do you even offer it?
Yeah.
I think the choice
Walmart.
is select now. I'm just saying.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's he going to get, Jim?
Sucklebusters. Everybody wants some Sucklebusters. Hey, man, honestly, big fan of this guy, so thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Which one do you recommend?
Yeah. That's nice.
The Chicks That Smoke? You recommend the Chicks That Smoke? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was getting little sneak preview pictures from our buddy Jason Sagmiller on our new drum smoker. I think it's getting pretty close to done.
Color.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sexy. So, and once we get that all lined up, we'll get him on the show to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So finish it up, Jason. Damn it.
As always, guys, this has been tremendous.
Yeah. Hey,
I've had a blast.
Thanks a lot for Martin House to getting us effed up on a freaking night here with their 18%.
2 cans. That's all it took.
13%.
Freaking
beers.
2 can Sam.
Yeah.
2 can Jan.
Jesus, man.
2 can Jan.
Well, boom.
There it is.
Appreciate you.
Honestly, guys, it's been awesome talking barbecue with you guys. Go ahead and hit us up on our socials. Go hit up the website. Give us a shout out. Find us in the grocery stores. Say hello.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Love you guys.
Peace. Thanks, everybody. We've been great.
Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. We'd like to give a special thanks to Sucklebusters Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, Bonner's Fiesta Spices, CoolieNation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, YETI Coolers, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Dalstrong Knives. We definitely appreciate your support.